Nebraska farmers are navigating a lot of uncertainty right now, from commodity prices to borrowing costs, and it's starting to show up in the latest numbers on the rural economy. First Alert 6 Andrew Pfeiffer spoke with Nebraska farmers and has their perspective.
When we say it's stressful, a stressful time of the year, that's probably understating it.
Across Nebraska,
we've had to rethink everything we've done this year.
Farmers are continuing to struggle.
Our expenses are off the charts.
Steffen is a farmer in Humboldt, Nebraska. He says the year's been tough.
You know, from a personal standpoint, this is the most expensive crop we've ever put in the ground.
In a new study released from Dr. Ernie Goss at Creighton University, the Rural Mainstreet Index, a leading economic barometer for farmers, fell below the break-even mark for the fourth straight month.
We're all struggling to pay the bills, pay the rent, and put groceries and try to put something away for our families.
The study finds nearly half of rural bank CEOs say financial conditions are getting worse.
It is a concern, I think, for Nebraska as we look at the ag economy.
Mark McHargue is the president of the Nebraska Farm Bureau.
The market certainly is looking for some sort of good news because we're kind of stuck in this kind of trading range.
He says a lot of farmers are struggling with the prices of fuel and fertilizer.
I would say it's probably the producers that did not have their fertilizer and fuel booked before the Iran conflict.
Steffen knows about that firsthand.
You know, we cut back on fertilizer usage so that we could try to squeeze every bit of value out of what we had to buy.
The report also mentions a weakening in crop prices, leaving farmers desperate to break even.
We've had promises, we've had press releases, we've commitments that turned into nothing.
I would say the mental stress, though, certainly is talked about all the time. I mean, you could just see it on producers' faces.
You know, the pressure is nonstop, and it's going to continue to drive people off the farm.
Reporting in Omaha, Andrew Pfeiffer, First Alert 6.
The farmer we spoke with also says the people most affected are younger farmers who are trying to build themselves a line of credit. The report says equipment sales are also in the red for nearly 3 years now.